Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to say thank you for your patience while I was off last week. I had an amazing visit with my two little grandchildren, two of my 11 grandchildren, and it was a lot of fun to be able to just take the week off and concentrate on spending time with them. So I want to say thank you for that. I hope that you're all well. Today I am going to be sharing a recipe that I have not tried before, but I see it. It looks like it's one of those recipes that you could make in a hurry, which most of my recipes you can make within 30 minutes. There are, sometimes some cooking time that I'm away from the screen, but I try to make sure that the bulk of the work can be done in 30 minutes. That's most of us want to not spend all of our days in the kitchen. So today I'm going to make an upside down pizza. And I've seen a number of people making it, and it looked to me like something that I could do. So I'm going to gather up the ingredients. We'll get this thing on the go, and then I will taste it at the end and give you my honest opinion about this recipe, because I do enjoy trying new recipes, but not everyone's a winner. So we're hoping for this one. Okay, I'll see you right back here in a minute. On my pizza, I am going to have some sauteed mushrooms. Now, I think any one of these steps you could skip, folks, honestly. So if there isn't something you like, substitute something else. Or if you prefer pineapple to mushrooms, do it. It's your kitchen, your rules, and you can do whatever you like. We'll try these basics and then we can experiment from there. Now, because I wanted to have some mushrooms, when I went to the store, I could buy 227 grams of whole mushrooms for $5.99, or I could buy 227 grams of mushrooms for $3.99, because these ones are sliced, not whole. So I went with the sliced ones. I'm just going to check and make sure as they go in they're clean. And if they weren't, I could just wipe them off with a piece of kitchen towel. And I'm going to use a frying pan for this upside down pizza that's a little bigger than this frying pan here, but not much. So I'm not going to cook more. I'm not going to cook more than this amount of mushrooms so that I don't overwhelm my pizza. I'm also cooking them ahead of time because they will let off a lot of water, and I don't want my pizza to be soggy. So I'm going to cook these, and when I have them all sauteed, I'll be back and we'll carry on with the next step. Okay, back at it. I have sauteed the mushrooms and I've just set them aside there on the stove. And I'm going to use a little bit of thinly sliced pepper. Now you could use green pepper here, red pepper, whichever you prefer. And I'm also using a 10-inch frying pan for this. It is a non-stick. I would have preferred it to be cast iron, but I don't have a cast iron pan. So I am going to use what I have, and you should also. Any of these recipes that we're making, we shouldn't need special equipment for, I don't think. We should be able to use what we have in our homes. So I've just oiled the pan with a little bit of olive oil, and I am going to lay the pepper out. I think I need a couple more slices. There we go. Ooh, that was a little thicker. Somebody's got to get a crunchy bit in there. I should say this will make enough for myself and my husband for dinner. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for. I think a 10-inch we usually definitely can get through a 10-inch. And now I'm going to add some red onion to it. And this onion, it could be any color too. Again, I'm just adding red onion for color. And I happen to have this left over from a recipe last week. So I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to do some thin slicing. This is going to go in the oven. So you want to make sure that everything gets cooked through. And it's going to be in the oven for 25 minutes at 400 degrees. And so you don't want to overwhelm the pan. You also need to make sure that your pan can go in the oven. Like some pans have handles on them that you wouldn't put them in the oven. Cut a little too much onion there. I'll put that in a broccoli salad after. So we've got the onion in there. I'm going to reach over and grab the wonderfully sauteed bits of mushroom, and I'm just going to put them in. And wow, this is shaping up to be a good pizza so far. Now, what's next, you might ask? Well, I think next I'm going to put on, I went to the grocery store and I just picked up this pack of salami mix. Now you could use anything in here. You could use rotisserie chicken or leftover chicken. You could use Italian sausage that's been cooked and crumbled. You could add hamburger that's been cooked and crumbled. The things are endless. I picked up a pizza pack from the grocery store, and it contains pizza salami, pizza pepperoni, and cooked ham. So I am going to add a bit of that. And I will if I can get into the package anyway. Oh, it's got one of those tabs. Those things fool me all the time. And I think there's enough here probably in this pizza pack to make several pizzas. Honestly, the leftovers will go into the hubby's lunch, so I'm not concerned about how to use it all up. It doesn't look like there's going to be that much anyway. I do like a meat pizza, heavy on the meat, so that's probably why it's looking the way it is. And lastly, in goes this one. And we'll make sure that we have an entire layer of meat. Now, I'm going to add some cheese. Probably should have added some cheese underneath all of that meat too, just to help glue it all down. Now my pizza mozzarella, which I have, has gotten a bit sticky in the bag. And I am going to have to dig it out of here and break it up. And I'm going to use a fair bit of cheese on here because, you know, what would a pizza be without a bunch of cheese? I might have done this all backwards, who knows? So don't run off and make one until I test it at the end and you can see what I did wrong and not make those mistakes yourself. Not sure why this cheese is so sticky. Anyway, I've got a whole bunch of cheese on there and I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, so I have veggies on there, I have meat on there, I have cheese on there. I'm going to add another round of cheese. I picked up some provolone, and now I need a pair of scissors. Because I watched several videos of people making upside down pizzas, and they all use the provolone as a base for the sauce that's going to go on the pizza. So I think it's important for that. Now, let's use the whole package here, I think, or we're going to make sure we get as close to covered as possible around the edge. And there we go. One piece left. There. Now, we're going to open up this sauce. I feel like this is a recipe that could go quite quick. The tricky part might be the end when we put the crust on, but you'll see in a minute. So now I'm just going to spoon, this is just a can of pizza sauce, garlic and basil pizza sauce. And I'm just going to dollop it on and then spread it around and see how we make out. See whether we need more, hopefully not less because it's already on there. Nope, that was perfect. So I've used about 2/3 of the can. You could add more if you like a really saucy pizza. Maybe I will add a little more, but still a 1/4 of the can left. And then I'm going to add a little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese because we do like Parmesan. Just going to sprinkle that on. And I'm going to add the rest of this container of mozzarella, the sticky one. Feel like this one didn't have anything in it to stop it from clumping together. This is going to be a very cheesy pizza. And I do feel like you could legitimately call this a deep dish pizza. Okay. There's just a little splattering in the bottom, so I'll get rid of that. And I'll get rid of this. Just move some of the things around here so that I can get this back in front of me. And then last, now this is the spot where I kind of get hung up because I make my own pizza crust usually, but the recipes that I saw used the Pillsbury pizza crust. Now this could be any pizza crust, whatever kind you normally would use, or homemade. I could take it homemade, make it earlier in the day and have it ready, or you could buy the frozen pizza crusts from your grocery store, or if you're in an area where you have a deli, you could buy the pizza crust there and skip this step. But I don't want to count it out yet. It might be perfectly fine. Let's see if we can... Well, that wasn't a problem. Okay. Well, I guess the trick... Well, the interesting part for me about this is the first time I've ever unrolled a pizza crust out of a container. At home normally, I don't have a fancy pizza pan. I make a pizza on a sheet tray, and they always end up odd shapes. They're oblong, or one end is fat and the other one's skinny or whatever. So this might be the trick we need all this time. Is I'm going to stretch this dough a little bit, and I want to stretch it enough. I don't want to rip it. Nobody wants a rip in their pizza dough. I just wanted to stretch it enough that I can get it across the pan. Now, we're going to start to tuck this in. Now, I find right here, I'm finding there's a lot of excess dough. And we're not big fans of the excess dough, so I think I'm going to use my scissors and cut off the excess. That might make it easier for myself. Now, you press the dough in and down the sides and sort of tuck the whole affair in as if you were tucking it into bed at night. And all the way around. Make sure you get it all tucked in all the way around. All of your edges so that this has got like a nice round shape. Got a little tomato sauce coming out there. And oh, I have a little air in there. Well, I'm going to leave that little bit of air in there because I do not want to have any breaks or tears in the crust. Okay, that's looking pretty well tucked in. Now I'm just going to oil the bottom of this crust with just a bit of oil, and that will help it to brown. I'm just going to brush it on. If I need a little more, I will add it. And voila. Well, that didn't seem so hard at all. Now I'm going to pop this, sorry about the clatter. I'm going to pop this into a 400-degree oven, which has been preheating since the beginning. And I'm going to cook it 25 minutes, which is according to the crust directions. I think that's what it said on there. So I'm going to keep watching it. The ingredients in here, I want them to be hot definitely, but I want the crust to cook. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this because I've never made it before. So I will put it in the oven and I will be back when it comes out of the oven so that you can see what it looks like, and we'll cut it up and give it a go. See you soon. Oh my gosh, would you check that out? It has raised quite a bit up above the top of the pan. And I can see that it's quite juicy in that pan. So I am going to change out my board. Let me see. No, that board's a pretty good fit. I am going to try this out. Seems to me like this could be a hard flip, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm going to definitely pick it up and flip it away from myself, because then if anything spills out, it's not going to spill on me, hopefully. And we're going to go. Ooh. Well, let's see how that turned out. Oh my gosh. So, can you see that? That looks pretty incredible. I definitely could work on the flip a little bit, and it is quite juicy right on the top. So maybe a little fry on the peppers too, because it seems to be around the peppers that are letting out quite a bit of juice. I'm going to grab a knife, and this thing is like, oh, I'm going to say it's easily 1.5 inches deep. Just going to grab a plate. Oh my. You know what maybe could have helped this a little bit is if I took it out of the oven and left it sit for 5 minutes, because that would give everything a chance to, you know, tighten up a little bit before I did the flip. So, you know, maybe something that you can learn from this. Now I'm going to cut through it. I can hear the crunch on the bottom. And I think I've got it. Ooh, well, that cheese is sure melty. And I'm going to put a piece and stretchy piece onto the plate. And this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to test it because I want to see how that crust turns on the bottom and how all of the ingredients come together. And yes, I'm going to use a knife and a fork because it's screeching hot. Mmm. Mmm. The crust does say really good on the, well, I guess it started off on the top. Now it's on the bottom. But I would definitely say that's a tasty pizza. I probably could have added a little salt and pepper in there, but this is a fine enough pizza. I will definitely make this again, only maybe try it out, use different ingredients, and just continue to work on it. But I will definitely try it again. So I hope that you do too. Thanks for joining me here today, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I'd really appreciate it if you left a comment in the description box or in the box below the video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.